This is Onshape, and so it's a free CAD service. Now you can get a professional membership so that other people can't view your documents. This is going to be public because this is a free site or a free subscription that I'm using. What we're going to do is create a project that builds, and so it's going to teach essential skills on how to use this slowly and progressively, so it'll be easy for a beginner to follow along. But everything that we used in a tutorial to learn how to use the software will be used to build a project. So we actually have purpose in what we're doing. Now we're not going to cover all the skills, just the basic tools. I've already created the folder, same process, and that's the folder you see us in. And it's gone. And I called it New Frame Design. So let's go ahead and hit Document. We'll give it the same name because we're going to keep all of our parts that we create in the same document. Notice that it's public. Create, and now we're set up. See this little square up here in the upper right hand corner? You can move that around by just holding down the left click. Let's hit front view. Let's get right into using the software to make something. So even if you don't understand what all of these tools are, just follow along and slowly, progressively, you'll start to understand. So we're in front view, so we have different planes here. So you see X, Y going this direction, and Z up here, much like you would have in most video editing softwares or 3D animation software. The sketch tool is one of the main tools you're going to use, so you'll be really familiar with this after just following along. So we got to sketch things out in order to build a part. And we're going to start with the base of this frame. So let's go ahead and hit Sketch. And now we've got to select a plane. So we're going to select this plane here. So now it tells us we're going to be sketching here in the front plane. And we're going to start off with a circle over the center part of that front plane. Now I'm going to left click. I'm going to draw that out. So try to envision a 1/2 inch aluminum tube. So I just drug that out, and then I released the left button. Go up here to this little tool, this dimension tool. I'm going to click on that with left click, come down, and a left click on the outside of that circle. I'm going to drag that away. This is where we're going to give the dimensions, the diameter of that tube. So let's go 0.5, 1/2 inch. So we want it 1/2 inch back over to our view. And now we're going to go to right view. And we're going to drag out a line that that tube is going to follow. So right now we just have a circle. We're going to create another sketch. And you'll notice sketch 1 and sketch 2 are right here. And things that we create, they'll appear in the order that we create those. So we can always go back and open those up. And you can rename that if it gets hard to remember what you've created. But for this first one, it won't, but it will over time. In later videos, we may go back and rename these so we don't get lost. All right, so we're in the sketch tool. We got to, again, select the plane. Notice here, sketch 2, the new one. We're going to hit right plane. So instead of the center point circle, we're going to go over here to this line tool. We're going to click on that. We're going to go to the center of the right plane, which also will align with the center of that circle we just created. We're going to left click, and then we're going to draw this out. Don't worry about the length right now, and then we'll left click again, and that'll end. But you notice it's wanting to create a new line over here. So I'm just going to hit escape to stop that. I'm going to go back up to the dimension tool, and I'm going to click on that line. I'm going to drag that out, and now we know we need a 14-inch segment. Now I've built these frames before, so I kind of have an idea on what we need to create, and we're just going to improve an existing project, and then we'll see if it all goes together, and we'll make improvements over time. So now I'm using the wheel on my mouse to scroll in and out, to zoom in and out on that view. You can also hold down that wheel to move that around. So I'm pressing on the wheel on the mouse. Alright, so now we have the dimensions of that. Let's go back up here and close out our sketch. And let's go back up here to this corner because we want to go to this isometric view. There's other ways of doing that. I could right click and go to isometric and it would change that viewpoint. I just happen to like to use this cube. Over time you'll develop different techniques that you like better. I can also hold the right mouse button down and turn that and rotate it. Okay, so we're still in an isometric view. What I want to do is go up here to sweep. I'm going to make sure it's set as new, as solid, new. Now I've got to select the face that I want to sweep. So I'm going to select the outer part of that circle. If you need to, you could scroll in so you don't accidentally select the center point. And now we need to create a swept path. So I'll do that one more time. I'll close that out. Go up here to sweep. Solid, new. Creating a new part. It's asking, I'm going to start right here where it says faces and sketch regions. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to click that. Now you notice this turned red, so it's telling me my next step is to actually sweep the path. What path do I want swept? So I'm going to click on this line here. So I'm going to click here so that that turns blue. And I'll come down. You notice that that's highlighted. I'll click on that. And now we've created that tube, but it's not hollow, and we want it to be hollow. Close the sweep out. And now I'm going to make this hollow. So I'm going to go up here to shell. I'm going to click on that. Now it says faces to remove. So we're going to make sure it's not in red, so it's in blue. It's waiting on me to go ahead and select it. And I'm going to select the outer part of that circle. I'm still in isometric view. Alright. So now I'm going to press on the wheel of my mouse and kind of drag this down. Now I'm going to release that and I'm going to zoom out. Now I'm going to press right click and I'm going to hold and turn that. And I could have done that up here if I wanted to. And I'm going to click the other outer portion of that circle. Once it's highlighted, I click that. Now look, we have a hollow tube. And I want that thickness to be a 1/16 of an inch. So 0.0625. That's the pop we're going to use for this project. And then check mark. Now our tube is created. It's the thickness. We can see through it. It's a 1/16 of an inch thick. And that is a quick way to make a pop. This is actually going to be the base of our project. So let's rename. Let's do 14-inch base tube. Alright, there we go. Now let's look at what we've covered. What did we learn? We did 2 sketches. So we did one that was a circle, one that was a line. We did a swept path, meaning we essentially form that object by selecting the circle, and then the line told it the length. And then we hollowed it out by creating a shell. And we're going to do that for each one of the tubes, so you'll get repetition with this, and I will not spend as much time on some of the navigation. You'll just slowly learn that as we start to build different projects.